Oh yes, it's big box time. And it's a big box because it's a big model. It is a 1:18 scale Mercedes-Benz Actros in the colours of Mammoet. And as it says on the box, a battery is included.
Let's weigh it up.
It's giant hand crane time as the box gets put onto the weighbridge, and it's about £13 6 ounces, or just over 6 kilograms, which is interesting because the box only has it at 5.5 kilograms. Knife out, cut, tape. And this is only the outer shipping carton, so when we take a look inside, we can see that there's a Mammoet branded box. As if by magic, the box is suddenly outside, and you can see there's a picture of the real truck on the box. Let's whiz the box around and take a look at the other side, and it is a little bit unusual. It's shown as distributed by Cavallino Models, and it's made by NZG. And the model number is 410317. So let's open the box and see what's inside. And first out is a bit of paperwork, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. And in the top of the lid is a bag containing some bits and pieces. To lift off the lid, we need to do some more cutting of tape, and then take out some side panels. We can then bring in the heavy lift hand cranes and carefully lift the model out. And as you can see, it's certainly a big boy. Let's take a quick look at the paperwork that comes with the model, and it tells you how to unpack it correctly, and it describes the main features of the model. And that includes installation of the battery for the electronics. There's another piece of paper which is regulatory information, and there's a Mammoet collector card with only 150 being made. The bag includes a screwdriver, a battery, and a nice pair of cotton gloves.
Let's weigh it up again.
Let's lift the truck onto the weighbridge, and we start off with a little bit of parking difficulty. But once it's on, it's about £9 2 ounces, or 4.13 kilograms. The only assembly to do is to install the battery, and to do that we need to tilt the cab forwards. And with a model as big as this, that's a significant enterprise. You use the included screwdriver to remove the battery cover, and then you can insert the button battery, and then you can put the cover back on. As usual, we start underneath, and the underside of the engine looks great. It has very nice detailing. The transmission flows through to the rear axle, and that is also very detailed. And there are various hoses and cables. The exhaust system and fuel tanks are also robustly modelled. And there are different tyres, front and rear. Looking at the roof of the cabin, it's accurately shaped. It includes a couple of beacon lights, but I'm not so sure about the solid colouring. And there's also aerials and air horns. It's always pleasing to see a see-through roof light. At the top of the cab is an aerial and very crisp Mammoet graphics, and you can see through the windscreen the very nice interior. Above the grille you've got the Actros name and the famous Mercedes-Benz logo. The grille itself is very nicely formed, and the lights also look particularly realistic in this scale. The truck also has a realistic number plate. On the side you get a better view of the famous red and black colour scheme. This version of the model has proper door mirrors and a nice door handle. There's also what looks to be a fleet number. The steps up to the cab have got very nice texturing. The wheels look great, but the tyres do lack any form of tyre branding. Looking at the back of the cab, there's plenty of detail formed within the casting. And at the bottom there are a full set of coiled lines. Between the axles is more good looking modelling, and that includes the big tanks with their highlighted filler caps and the textured walkway. The wheel arches are plastic like they are on the real truck. On the side there are some nicely formed steps, and the wheels on the rear axle look very good. At the back there's proper lights with lenses, a license plate and also a wheel chock. We go back underneath and the wheels spin easily enough, and there is stiff suspension provided on the front and rear axles. The steering also achieves a very good angle. With that we go out onto the Cranes etc. test track, and it rolls along very nicely because of its heavy weight. And if we set the steering, you can achieve a very good turning circle. The fifth wheel has got a properly working locking latch, and both doors on the cab can be opened to a wide angle. With the door open you can get a good look at the very detailed interior, and that also includes more of the textured steps which lead up. Even the inside of the door has very nice modelling, and that includes proper storage space with a cup holder. With the door open we get to see another feature that is implemented, and that is that the steering wheel is linked to the front axle. You've also got movable armrests inside the cab. The door has a springy action as it slams shut. Next we can lift the flap at the front and see some detail underneath, and we need to keep the flap open in order to tilt the cab. The cab is very heavy, but it doesn't overbalance the chassis. With the cab tilted it's a treat to see the engine underneath, and the big scale of this model allows the engine to be very detailed. And to achieve that it's made up of many different components. A tractor like this does deserve a trailer, and we can hook it up to NZG's container trailer, and it hooks in nicely to the fifth wheel. And with that done, all of the trailer axles are properly grounded. Next we can load up NZG's big 1:18 scale container, and that's another job for the giant hand cranes. And with that you then get a large and impressive model. But of course it would be nice if we could paint that container in Mammoet colours.
Time for a dim check.
The full tractor and trailer combination is very large, so let's get the tape measure out. And it's nearly 3 feet or 90 centimetres. The last feature is electronic, and to use it we switch it on. And after closing it up we can put the lights on by using the touch sensitive switch. That gives us both lighting at the front and also rear lighting. This is another large and impressive 1:18 scale model by NZG. It has the additional unusual feature of working lights, and that certainly gives you a very different display option. It looks great in the Mammoet colour scheme, and it's even more impressive if you pair it up with a suitable trailer. It's very high quality, and overall it's rated as excellent.